Oh my God. So the Business Breakthrough Mastery is with Gary Barnes. He's the author of How a Beaver Saved My Life. And um, interesting title, but he's a very spiritual guy. He's a business person. He's highly successful. He sold hundreds of millions of dollars, worth of coaching, consulting, books, products, and he's just like a big teddy bear and just super nice and humble. That's how I connected with him. And he got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and went on a spiritual journey and inquiry, not inquisition. And a beaver came to him in several visions. So that's his power animal, believe it or not. And he wasn't supposed to live beyond 10 years, and it's been like 20 years since then. So he has an incredible story, and he just committed his life to helping people, just like I have. And one of my favorite things that he shared, let's start with Parkinson's law. Does anybody know what that is? Yeah, I didn't either. So Parkinson's law states that the time allotted to a task will match the time that we allow for it. So if we have a term paper due in 2 months, well, that's not a good example. A good example was he had an article to write, and he thought it would take hours. And finally, his admin called him on it and said, "Look, we need to get this done. Deadline's today. How much time do you have before your next appointment?" And he said 35 minutes. And he just started it. He did it, and it took 27 minutes. So sometimes we can stretch things out if we allow it. And so setting a deadline, setting a time limit towards your task is very powerful. Now, his definition of productive time, he uses an acronym PINOT, like Pinot Noir, PINOT, and definitely write this down. Productive time is an activity where you get a yes or no to your product or service. It's an activity where you get a yes or no to your product or service. Boom, that's productive. I'm going to add that fulfillment is also productive time. So if you've sold something, you definitely want to deliver. The I of Pinot stands for indirectly productive time. That's an activity that directly leads to productive time. So that could be setting an appointment, could be following up. And then N stands for non-productive time. That's pretty much all other activities. And it's kind of shocking, that he puts networking and building relationships in that bucket. Are those important? Absolutely. Are they critical to our business success? Absolutely. But by his definition, not productive. I think this really helps, because I'm a big fan of being visible, getting yourself out there, making appointments, building relationships. And, if people don't know about us, then we can't have productive time. We can't offer. And a yes or no to our products or services isn't bad. It's not sale. I mean, it is sales, absolutely. But it's just sharing the opportunities. And someone can say yes, someone can say no. And it's all good. The O of Pinot stands for other people's time. So remember to delegate that. That's super awesome. And T is time off. And we've talked about that. Space, rest, recover, revive, creative, fun. He also talked about multitasking. Who is great at multitasking? That's a trick question. There's really no such thing. And many studies at high-level universities have shown that, you know, we may think we're multitasking, but we're actually less efficient. We really want to, you know, take our high priority task and focus on it. So sorry about the trick question, but sometimes it helps helps land the lesson. Another tip, and I do this all the time, is like if you're filming a video, and videos are really critical. We're talking a lot about being seen and getting our opportunity out there for people. So if you're filming on your iPhone or smartphone, don't look at yourself. Don't look, like right now, I'm looking up and to the right. I don't know if you can see, but I should be looking at my camera, the little pinhole on top of them. So find out where on your phone, where on your computer, where on your laptop is the camera, and practice looking into the camera. And what is this about? It's not about looking good. It's about connection. And business is about people, and it's about building relationships, building trust, and building connection. When people buy from us, 1 second, Venice. When people buy from us, they're buying faith and hope that we're going to fulfill, and we're going to solve their problem. We're going to help their dreams come true. So looking into the camera was a big tip. I really love that nugget. Yeah, Venice.
I literally had to put a red dot right at my camera so I would know where I was supposed to be looking to do that. So if that helps.
Fantastic. Now, don't you guys feel better? Like, look, I'm looking right in the camera. Love you guys.
So can I add something, Jim?
Please, Brett.
I haven't done this yet, but I want to. Is you know, at Michael's craft store, you can get little googly eyes stick-on things. Here, let me turn my. So
the great red dot or googly eyes.
Well, one idea I've had is put two googly eyes right on opposite sides of your web camera, so you're looking at other eyeballs.
Awesome. Yeah. Yes. And some people clip on, you know, a little animal or
a picture of people.
What was that, Venice?
A picture of a person or
yeah,
around your camera.
Yeah, especially, you know, this whole Zoom thing is a great way for us to connect. It's convenient, but we want to personalize it as much as possible. And then the other nugget that I just loved is there were some great speakers, guest speakers on the stages. And the point that they made and they demonstrated was people aren't going to really listen to your content, and especially aren't going to get excited about your offer until they know and like you. And what's your story? I think all of us have been through trials and tribulations to get to where we are today. All of us have a story. And my misconception was, oh, people don't want to hear about my story. I want to get right to the content. I don't want to waste people's time by telling them about me and my background. And so the trick really, so I was wrong, dead wrong, and have been, you know, hurting myself and hurting other people by not building that relationship, building that trust, being intriguing, being an interesting human being so that I can help more people. So what's your story? And like I said, I presented at this, there was a speak off, and 3 of us were chosen to do the speak off. And I had a day to prepare. my brain was bouncing back and forth, like, should I tell this story or this story or this story or this story? And all night long, when I woke up, I was like, oh, I could do this. No, I could do this. And it wasn't until I sat down, I meditated in complete silence, and I just prayed for what's the right message for me to, intrigue people, grab their attention. And the idea came, and I'll share the video with you guys. I'll send it out when they send it to me. They're editing it right now, but it was a 3-minute stage presentation. And so I started with me in a race going up this hill to the summit, and I see the men's health team, and I see Lance Armstrong's team, and we're all just like dying. Our lungs are bursting. I have to give that final extra effort. Right before the summit, I pass Lance Armstrong, I pass Men's Health, and then I say, I made it to the #1 spot in Google. And everybody laughed. So it's a true story. I did have, there's a website called Free Daily Fitness Tips, and I beat Men's Health. I beat Lance Armstrong. So it demonstrated credibility, but it brought excitement and adventure. And I even said, I'm an athlete, I'm competitive. And then the rest of the presentation was, I did that. I demonstrated success at this. And now I've dedicated my life to helping people be more visible online and create great websites and blah, blah, blah. So that is an example. And I have to give credit to God and the universe for the idea. But we all have interesting things that could be fun or funny or interesting to really, and you could create a video for your website. It could be part of, when you meet someone one-on-one, your story can be really powerful. And if any of you want to do public speaking or speaking on stages, this is going to be a must. And that's where I want to head. So even though I was nervous and scared and confused, I did it. And then what we did is we did a 3-minute presentation, then got feedback from a couple coaches, and then 10 minutes later came back and did the same presentation with incorporating the feedback. So, talk about being on the spot. So anyway, just, do something scary every day, just like I recommend. And then another thing that always hits me like a ton of bricks is our current results, where we're at financially, health-wise, the people around us, our environment. Our current results are on purpose. They're a function of our thoughts, our beliefs, and our actions. So if any of those situations, whether it's love or money or environment, health, aren't to your liking or you want to improve, just remember that you have the power to go to the next level. And it is a function of our thoughts. So, we talked last time about subconscious beliefs and Tony Robbins' tools to help us identify those. Sometimes it isn't fun, it isn't pleasant, but looking at a result that we have in our life that's subpar, you can pretty much tell what your subconscious is telling you by looking at your results. And then you can change the story. That's the good news. We can turn those upside down. We can change them. The truths, a lot of times our subconscious is driven by our inner 5-year-old. Something happened in our childhood that wasn't good, and we said, oh, we're not going to do that anymore. Or somebody told us that rich people are bad, or. And I love just looking at current results and then saying, okay, I must have some subconscious beliefs. What are they? What are, and write them down. Rich people are blank. We did that exercise last time. And then write, what's an alternative statement? And that's where the power comes, changing our beliefs. And I already covered this point. Selling is simply sharing opportunities. And networking, Gary had a really interesting approach to networking. And that was, just get to know people and ask them to share about their business and what they want or need first. It just really builds trust that you're not being pushy. I mean, we want to follow up regularly. We want to be bold in our outreach, but we want to be polite, humble, and almost like a host. Probably most people feel uncomfortable, and when they're talking about themselves, that makes them feel good. So, and then selling is simply finding out, what challenges or problems might they have. And start with that, but like, what are you proud about in your business? What's your passion? What are you great at? Start with some positive things, and then, weave the conversation around to, like with COVID, it's a great question to say, what's been going on for you this year? A lot of people have had challenges. Is there anything that you're having trouble with? And you can preempt that with, I'm well connected. I know a lot of people, and I might be able to recommend someone that can help you with that. And so, what is their problem or challenge? And are you the right solution for them? If so, then you might set up a meeting where you can explain more or dig deeper into, what problem or challenge do they have, and are you the right solution for that? And if you are, then share the opportunity. And that's all. And they can say yes, no, they can counter offer. That's all sales is. It's not a big deal. And then there are three things that are critical or powerful for business success. And definitely write these down too. I love these. Be seen, be safe, and be relevant. Now, I already touched upon some of the aspects of this, but in my notebook, be seen is written all over the place, and it's highlighted in different colors. I admit I've been playing too small. I haven't been doing Facebook Live. I haven't been on social media regularly. My commitment is to get on social media every 5 days a week. So be seen. It doesn't have to be social media, but that's a nice way to do it. And remember, part of being seen, or the success principles here, is be safe. So remember, I shared, 5 areas of passion in your life, 3 to 5 areas of passion. So be an interesting person, not just a business person. Have people get to know you, like you. It's like my personal posts get way more attention and comments and likes than my business ones. So let go of any agenda. Just be yourself. Get to know people. Have fun, and then be relevant. That just means, stay in your lane. And if your product or services can help someone, and you get to know them, and you're a great fit for that, throw out the opportunity. So there's no agenda. You're not attached to a yes or a no. You can be attached to making a certain amount of money, but you don't know that this person is going to be where that money comes from. You'd be open to where, the money coming from the right place. So I think it goes with our values and integrity. So be seen. So that's, what else can you do to be visible or easily found, or reach out to the right people? And then be safe. Let go of any agenda. Just have fun and be relevant. You guys are all awesome at what you do, and that's not going to be a problem. I would venture to say that being seen is probably the biggest opportunity for all of us. And I know Venice is, I think you're doing a car wrap. You did window signs. You did a billboard. You're doing a radio show. Congratulations, you're going big, and we can all head that direction. And the cool thing is, something as simple as posting daily on social media is free. I love that. It just takes courage sometimes, or a little teeny bit of time. Cracks. I love things that can be done in cracks of time. Now let's see, how are we doing? I have 2 minutes to go through get statements. So Tony Robbins talks about taking your goals and making them a must. And sometimes that works for some people. I've had goals that I have not accomplished, and I really resonated with making it a must. Like I've got to be really committed. Burn the bridges, go for it. But Gary talks about a get statement. Are you guys okay if I go a little longer than 11? Okay, thank you. Got some head nods. And if you have to go, I understand. No big deal. But get stands for great expectations today. It also stands for get. Like we get to receive X amount of dollars. It's not like we have to make money. We get to. We get to serve people. We get to help people. So again, get is future state goal stated in the present tense, stands for great expectations today. And here's an example. The key is to start your get statement with I receive. I receive X amount of dollars with Y amount of dollars net revenue by, and then a date. So I receive $10,000 with $6,000 net revenue by October 31st, 2020. So that's just one of my examples. And the reason it's the by means it can come earlier. The I receive, you notice I didn't put, I worked super duper hard. I suffered, right? It's just, we don't know where it's going to come from. And you can create revenue models, you can create plans, and that is a really great way to do this. When I took my $10,000, and we've gone through this before, and I broke it down to, okay, I need to sell so many books at $20 a book. That's a lot of books, but it's not necessarily a lot of websites if I price myself right. So sometimes doing the revenue models helps you take the best actions to reach your goals with the least amount of work or the most amount of contribution, however you want to word that. Now, the last bit is write down a get statement for financial, for health, and for relationship. Minimum. You can cover other areas of your life, but just 3 get statements is your homework. Your other homework is to rewrite them every day until we meet again. So it's going to create that I forgot the portion of our brain, the reticular activating system in our brain. Writing it, don't type it, don't put it on your computer, don't do dragon dictation. Actually write it in a notebook. I recommend in the morning, just so we get it done, and let's see what kind of miracles we can create.
Financial and what else, Jim?
I'm recommending financial, health, and relationship.
Thank you.
Other things that you can consider are environment, or environment can be home, can be work. All right. Thank you guys